Welcome to the series where we look for opportunities in the trenches to multiply our capital. This is asymmetric gains where we turn a little into a lot. All right, so here's the goal, guys. I have 8 Solana that I'm looking to plug into one of these coins, and I already have, but we're going to go through the opportunities because there are 3 actions we're going to take with these coins, and it's either going to be buy, watch, or reject. And we have a handful of opportunities ahead of us. Right now, the attention is centered around Jimothy because it's got major virality behind it and actually moved really, really fast from nothing all the way to 20 million within the first 24 hours. Currently sitting at 20 million, hit the 50 million topper similar to Punch. And the question is it done or does it have more strength behind it? Yet to be seen, but I'll tell you this much. The ceiling for Jimothy, I think, is around the same as Penguin, which is about 170. Would you want to bet your 8 Sol to get that 170 from 20? Personally, I'd look for setups that are still available because I would say the gas has been spent a lot on this Jimothy run. You know, we've gone from nothing all the way to 50 million in a very short amount of time. So for me, looking at these two coins saying we topped at 50 million for Punch and Penguin hit 170, I'd say this has a low chance of hitting that $170 million target to get near that 8 to 10x that I'm looking for. So while these coins are great to get into early, they require you to be stuck on the charts and constantly there to monitor when these opportunities arise. And what I'm looking for is something that has conviction behind it and has a chart setup that I can get behind. So what we're looking at here is different opportunities. We found them on the scanner, and there are a few more opportunities, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. So we're going to go over them right now. LSM fundamental coin has an AI backing, and I like the chart. It seems to have a dev constantly working on it with nice updates, but this is clearly not going to gain traction until the AI meta comes back around. It's at a 74K market cap, and I can easily see this one going to 2 to 3 million, which would give us that 10 to even 20x that we are looking for. But the chart setup isn't mature enough yet for me to be completely intrigued for this challenge. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the watch list and come back to it on the next couple of weeks to see what it has done. I do expect positive price action out of this though. Seller is a meme coin that's currently sitting at 117K. I think it's got a good narrative behind it with Michael Saylor selling his Bitcoin. You can see it's just a really nasty price action though. These wicks and then it dies and then the wicks come up. This is something I don't like to see because this is clearly algorithmically controlled. Somebody has that supply, and every time this pumps up to a certain level, usually around 500K, it just dumps. So this one, even though I like the narrative, the chart is just not looking like it has the interest or liquidity in it. So this one would be a watch, but I think eventually, potentially, a reject if we don't get some kind of conducive price action to this. Because look at this. I mean, every time it pumps, you just get sold off immediately, which is kind of suspect. So next up, we've got a gaming coin, LR. Now, this one's an interesting one. It's got a pretty solid founder behind it, and he's constantly building in public, which you like to see. Currently in a very tight range. So I can definitely see this one pushing up to that $2 to $3 million range easily, or even higher, depending on how strong the gaming meta is when it returns. So this one is definitely on the watch list. I want to see the chart mature a little bit before I get interested in it, but this is definitely on the watch list after our next trade, where I think we are going to get that hit we're looking for. So Albemarle is another interesting coin. It is a virtual city created by an influencer that seems to be popping. It's got Citizen. They do get rewarded with airdrops. And its interesting price action has caught my eye because I think this one has a chance to pull a Solangelis, which is basically a coin that went up to $8 million from around similar price levels. So this one, again, on the watch list, I think it's got explosive potential, definitely on the roster of watching. So this one, we'll come back to it in the next couple of weeks. I do think we'll get some performance out of this. The thing is, right now, liquidity on Solana is drained. It was at Robinhood. Robinhood has died. Now the market's trying to figure out, do we go back to Solana or do we stay on Robinhood? So this one still needs to mature a little bit for me to have more conviction in it. If my trade goes before this one, then this was going to be a next contender to look at. Now, the trade that has caught my eye here is going to have to be blocks. I like the block setup. It's been consolidating for a while, and the founder is giving consistent updates. The project is evolving. The only thing lacking here is that the market hasn't caught on. But for me personally, the way I like to invest is before the crowd arrives, before the hype arrives. And I've been part of many trades where I've had the 5 to 10x's happen, and they've taken a while, but they have happened eventually. I mean, I'm going to show you a couple of examples here. So number one example has to be Percolator, where I traded it from about 683K all the way up to 4.5 million. Now, if we measure that, that's going to have to be around a 5x. So that was a couple of months wait, but we ended up hitting our target. And then we get an opportunity to rotate that money and continuing to multiply it. Opal was another one. Traded it from 800K all the way to 6. Of course, I didn't sell at 6 because who sells the perfect top? Instead, I sold it at about 4 and I got the 3x. I was hoping to get to 20 million, but after we saw the sell-off here, I didn't think we had the chance to actually move on up. So the sell-off had to happen for me. And then Triple T, I traded it from about 3.5 all the way to about 7 or 8. I can't remember exactly where it was. Rebought back here and traded at 15. So multiple trades here happened because the momentum was behind me and the sell-off was behind me as well. So I like those trades because they were undervalued and they had momentum behind them. Some of them took longer than I expected, but in the end, we got the profit we needed. And I think Blocks is going to do the same thing. We're going to see this move come out of nowhere. Eventually, everyone will start talking about them because they'll have some kind of catalyst behind them. And I would be here on the cheap. Now, I think my average buy was about 330K in market cap, so I'm down about 10% right now, and that's fine. We're looking to turn this 8 Solana into 80 Solana, or actually I'll take 70 Solana as well. I'm not too fussed about a 10 Solana difference. But the goal of this series is to turn a little into a lot. So we're going to take a look at what Blocks can do for us. Right now, it's positioned as an AI gaming project, and I'm not in the habit of trading the 1 minute chart or shorter time frames because they're less predictable. Whereas if you extend the time it takes to multiply your money, you'll have a higher success chance because you have less odds of going to zero. Whereas if you trade these meme coins like you see here, like Yuki, a random meme coin I just clicked on, this one, we don't even know what it is. It'll probably die in the next 3 days and then you'll never get your money back. So we're not looking to do these short-term trades where it pumps a bunch and then just dumps 80% and then you're wondering, am I going to get my money back? So this one has a higher likelihood of surviving, and I'm not against meme coins. I traded a couple of these animal coins and got some good profits out of them. It's all about timing. If you can get them on the cheap down here at about 300, 400K, that's worth the risk to reward. But if I'm buying at 1 million, 2 million, it's just not worth the risk for me. So my style is a little bit different. I like to get in on the cheap because ceilings are lower in the bear market. So we'll get in on the cheap and then sell it higher to whoever is willing to buy from us. So that's the game we're looking to play here, guys. We're going to keep it smart and it might take some time, but the series is going to be interesting because I do think that the chances of us turning that 8 Solana into 80 and then from 80 to 800 is actually pretty high. So stick around to see what happens. And if you guys want to do the same, follow along on the journey to see how you can learn to do the same. So with that said, I will see you guys on the next one.